This week on Making My House a Home, we're going to be digging into the downstairs because we got to get it ready before the Hubster has his surgery. So we needed some help. We brought in some help. We got everything completely reorganized so that when he walks through the downstairs, he's not tripping over any kind of boxes or any furniture that's in his way. And I just wanted to let you know about that. Plus, at the end of the video, toward the end, I give you an update on his surgery and what happened. So hang on. Here we go. So here I am. Before anybody gets there, I decided to get a wiggle on and get things going. But, you know, the camera, I got to check it out and see why it's not picking up sound. I didn't use my iPhone. I should have used my iPhone. But anyhow, so what I'm doing here is I'm explaining to you that I'm going to put this desktop right here at the end of there, that workstation, and then it's going to come out so far, and I'll be able to put the dog's toy bin underneath it, get it out of the way. But then right where that chair is where I end up putting one of the pieces that I showed you in the dining room at the beginning, the one tall one. So what's going to happen is that's one of our dining room chairs on the left, so I just got to move it out of the way and set it aside so that I can work on things. Now, this desktop here, this is the other half of the workstation, and that's the one reason we're moving the buffet, so we can put this workstation up. But we're going to slide it along this wall here to the left until we get the actual buffet moved. So there, I moved the chair, and now these chairs here are my grandmother's, and they are kind of wiggly. And I've been hanging on to them, you know, Clutter Camp here. You know, I just trying to learn to just get rid of things. And they're really nice chairs. They look really pretty, but look how wiggly. And I thought, nope, it's time for them to go. They're both the same way. They need tightened up, but they're in beautiful condition. It's just that somebody upholstered them, and I just don't like the way that they look. And I've decided since they are really in the way in our house, it was time to go ahead and do something about it. So I grabbed my iPhone and took pictures of the chairs. And then I took pictures of the upholstery, one chair and then the next, so that whoever is interested in them would be able to see what condition they're in. And then I put them on the Buy Nothing group. Boy, what a flattering picture there. And when I put it on the Buy Nothing group, well, I put these out on the porch, and let's just say they're still there. Nobody seems to want elegant dining chairs anymore. So, you know, what are you going to do? But I did put them outside, and I'm probably going to donate them to Habitat for Humanity because that's what needs to be done.
Hi.
Hey.
We're back.
Yep. So what we wanted to do was to show you what we accomplished down here, even though we couldn't bring you along for everything because we had somebody here that was not going to be on camera, but we needed them because it was just needed to be done. So let me shut this off and turn the lens around so that you can see what's going on, and she'll be Vanna.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Okay, friends. Before there was a little tall, I guess it was about this tall, cabinet here. And now that that's gone, the buffet was moved into this spot. Now, we have things on it that need to be put away, but that's okay.
The base of it's put together.
Yes. And was it heavy? Oh yeah, they put it on rollers, and that made it so easy. So much easier. But if you look at this now, it's all open here, and it's level and even, and it looks perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really couldn't have asked for a better place to put this. I think.
I think we're going to do something with the dog toys.
Well, don't talk to the dogs about it because they will not be happy. I mean, Stella's always in the it's like a swimming pool. She's always in it.
Yeah.
Because those are her toys, you know.
Yeah.
So we put this chair here for now. These things have to be gone through. Cece will have to go through all these things.
It's one of those boxes from upstairs that got brought down.
And we know what that's like. And we have the dog gate here for right here, which is what we need to have.
Because Mr. Ping likes to bark at the washer.
Yes.
Because it clicks when it does stuff. And he doesn't like that.
It just, there's things that we don't like. And he's no different with what he doesn't like. So,
in this corner,
we've cleaned out this whole corner. I know it doesn't look it, but this is before you couldn't do this. You couldn't put the dog stroller in here. And now we have this unit here that has all shoes on it, which is very well needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was.
Yeah, shoes were everywhere.
We cleaned off in front of here. I'm not quite sure what these has to be gone through.
Well, those are Hubster stuff.
There we go. Laundry basket's now in its place.
Mm-hmm.
And in here,
this monstrosity here.
this is a coat rack.
Yeah.
And it's not a monstrosity. It works. It does its job. But
We're right here.
this coat rack was over here besides the dryer. And boy, it really just filled up that corner.
Yes, it did.
Now look at it. It's open and it's bright with this light on. And it's like a whole different world over here.
And that ladder and those two dollies are going to go elsewhere. And the sweeper's in there. It goes in the bathroom.
Yeah, and I didn't know where to put those things, so I didn't.
So we'll be able to push the dog carriage in further because those will be gone.
Good.
So now,
Okay.
this is the
little cabinet that was in the living room.
taller one that she was talking
Yes.
about.
And can you focus on these?
Yeah, I can.
These are the beds for the puppies. And we always have them in this room because we play cards in here. And when we do, they sleep in their little beds unless they're hungry. And then they say, oh, let's eat. But they usually sleep in these. Now this piece of wood back here is not a piece of wood.
It's a tabletop.
This is a tabletop that's going to go from here to here.
And then underneath I can put the dog toys.
Yeah, there's an idea if they'll think it's okay.
Well, anyhow.
So this is the table where we play cards.
The new table. My $25 Habitat for Humanity table. You all ought to go check those places out in your areas.
It works really well.
Yeah.
So, this used to have this. Let me get out of the way. This space here, where all this stuff is gathered, used to be where the buffet and the television were. And now that's all opened up. And so because the TV isn't there, look how much light is coming in.
Yeah.
Now, this here is not a piece of wood. It is also...
You can't see it for the box.
Oh, let me move the box.
There you go.
This is the table that we're going to put here.
It's like a desktop.
A desktop.
A workstation.
Yeah, and we just don't have the hardware for it. And the Hubster's going to get that, and then we can get that table up. This stuff is all going to be donated. So that goes out of here.
Yep, all that stuff leaves.
And this little table here was also out in the living room. And it's been brought in. And it fits perfect on that wall. Just
yeah, it does.
perfect.
It's the right size.
Yeah.
It's just perfect there.
So this is our finished product. And I think that it was a couple hours of work for 3 of us. And then the Hubster came home and he helped. So it took us a while.
Because we had this table filled
all the way like this.
all the way.
Yeah. And so these got cleaned off.
Yeah.
So is there more work to do? There's always more work. I don't care what house you have or where you live or who owns it. We always have work to do. And we'll get to it another day.
Yep.
Cece, do you have anything else to add to it?
Well, not really. It's just that it's so much more spacious.
Do another scan of the room so they can see.
I mean, there's stuff that's in the way, but, you know, it'll go away. Yeah, see, that was all filled with boxes. And we put them on the table and went through them.
Yeah.
And at some point, the workstation over here, which looks like this one, will be attached, and we'll be able to go on with things. So that'll work. Here's the final look of how it ended up. As you can see, everything's been put in its place, and I did get the little dog swimming pool full of toys out of there. Hey friends, it's Cece. After having some snafus with the camera and it not recording volume or voices, and then just every time I went to edit, the doggone voices would be gone. The part that I filmed with my iPhone had everything in it, but the stuff I filmed with my camera had no voice and was like shutting off all of the audio all the way through. So every time I'd go in to edit, I'd have to turn the volume back on again. I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, it's really funny. I bought this camera, it's like $900, because I thought that it was going to help me. It's been nothing but trouble. And I'm sure it's because I haven't figured it out yet. And I'm working on it. Honest to God, I am. But, you know, it's frustrating. Now, to give you more insight into the day, the person that came over and helped us could not be on camera, period. And she's very sorry about that, but it could not be helped. And any shot that I had her in the frame. And I just chose to protect her privacy because, you know, that kind of thing's really important. I don't go around because I have a YouTube channel and shove my camera in people's faces and say, yeah, but it's my channel and you have to let me videotape you. I don't do that. But, you know, at the time, I needed her help because there was no way, like, she and I lifted the one end of the buffet. It took two of us to lift one end. And then Juju slid the dolly underneath it. And then we came over to the other end. And we both had to still lift the actual buffet while Juju put the dolly underneath. I'm sorry, it's late. I'm tired. And that just made it so difficult to get this done with a camera because I knew she was going to be in every scene. I knew it was going to be a problem. And there wasn't anything I could do about it. And I do apologize to you for a shorter video this week, but that's why I'm protecting someone's privacy. And I think that's more important than YouTube. And I'm sorry if that upsets anybody, but not much I can do about it. Now, I was going to tell you about something else. Oh, yes. Coming up this week. Now, usually we get together on Friday and we do a full video. But this Friday, we're going to go out somewhere like big people. And I was sure that we weren't going to make it. I knew I was going to make it because I didn't have surgery 48 hours ago. The Hubster did. And for those of you that posted your concern and your prayers, and even if you didn't, if you just thought about them and said a prayer or, talked about him. Thank you so much. That was greatly appreciated because he came out of this operation with flying colors. He had a nerve block done on his shoulder because he was going to get his rotator cuff repaired. Now, when he first fell off of his truck, it's one of those big, long, what is it, like 28-foot beds on a truck. And he would haul steel around and go to people's places, back the truck in, and then, help take off the ratchets that hold steel. And then he would walk around on the deck of the truck. Well, he had walked around to the back of the deck of the truck, and when he went to step, there was nothing there. And it was like this. He stepped, and down his foot went, and he fell 5 to 6 feet off of the back of the truck, landed on this shoulder, broke the left ankle, left leg, left foot, smashed it, falling on concrete in somebody's shop. Now, that was July 22nd of 22. So for this long, he's been going without having that shoulder fixed. And the reason that he didn't do it sooner was because he was afraid, and the doctors were afraid, that if he would have gotten the shoulder fixed right away, he wouldn't have been strong enough with the broken leg, and he was in the hospital 6 months. He wouldn't have been able to do what was needed to be done to heal the shoulder properly. So they just told him to wait until he's walking really good. Well, it took this long for him to be walking okay, for him to feel like, if I get up, I'm not going to fall down. So what he did was chose to have the surgery and then made the appointment, and it was April 24th. And when we went in, this Dr. Drabicki that we used, absolute wonderful, wonderful doctor. He's really young, nice on the eyes, and just did a stupendous job. Because at first, when he was first evaluated, the Hubster was supposed to get a reverse ball and socket, which basically means they're going to tear out your whole shoulder and put another one in. That would have been horrible for him. That would have been a lot more pain. It would have taken longer for him to heal. And I, at one point, had my rotator cuff torn and had to go see Dr. Drabicki. So I decided, maybe the Hubsters should get a second opinion from this guy instead of trusting this other doctor down in Pittsburgh that really never even looked at him yet and was saying, we're going to do a reverse ball and socket. Well, turns out he didn't need it. And what he did get was having the tendons were, the tendons were all the way down, almost to his elbow. So when Dr. Drabicki went in there, he pulled them up and put a clamp on it. And he said they were so used to being way down there, normally he would put 2 clamps in it. And he could only put 1 because it had gotten so used to being way down here. And then he says he found part of his bicep muscle in his armpit. So here, we didn't even know it. And nobody told us that in Pittsburgh 2 years ago, that there was a problem with his bicep muscle. So I'm really glad we went to this doctor, because this doctor found something else that 2 years ago nobody found. So he then reattached the bicep muscle. And now the Hubster's walking around like, no problem. But he got this nerve block before surgery. And they told him, oh, you wait, after 10, 12 hours, it's going to wear out, And so all day of the surgery, when I brought him home, here he is being nervous, waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it never did. And here what he had for pain medications, which wasn't real strong. It was just like a Percocet, which, is not an oxy. So it's not as strong. But so because he was just taking a Percocet, he was much clearer, feeling much better like himself. And it just it just worked so well for him. And that's why I want to thank you, because I know prayers works. And I know that this had a lot to do with people praying for him and, hoping that he does well. And he said to tell you guys, thank you so much. He knows that what you did helped. And I just wanted to come on here and share that with you. We would normally, like I said, do a video on Friday for the following Friday. And that's how we've been doing it. Sometimes we'd do 2 videos in one day. But tomorrow is Friday the 26th of April. And we have tickets to see Phil Rosenthal. Rosenthal? Yeah, I think that's his name. But he has a Netflix show. If you have Netflix, it's called Somebody Feed Phil. And this guy flies all over the world with his team. His brother is one of them. And he used to be an executive producer for Everybody Loves Raymond. Now, y'all know that show is really funny. Well, this guy's just as lighthearted and funny as that. But what he did was he would go to like Bangkok, and he would go with a local person, and they would take him around to local places, and he would try local food. And this show's about an hour each, and every show is about a different city. So we've just been following it. I think he has 6 seasons on Netflix now, and we just love him. He's so funny. But we bought tickets back Christmas time, not knowing that the surgery was going to be 2 days before. And I thought about rescheduling it, and the Hubster said, no, I want to get this over with. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Well, he's going to be okay. And tomorrow night, we're going to be sitting, watching Phil Rosenthal make us laugh about his little journeys with all these people in different countries. So I wanted to share all this with you because that's what's going on with me. And next week, we're going to be back to normal. But I thought I would fill you in on what's going on. So,
we're back.
And we're done.
And we're done for the day.
Yeah, we're playing cards.
We hope that what we've done and what we have showed you helps you to see life here through our eyes. It is completely different, completely opened up, and you almost feel like you can breathe in there now, can't you?
Yeah.
It's light.
Yeah.
It's not so dark and heavy.
Yeah.
And it was all because of the TV being in front of the window.
Yep.
And now that there's light out there, it's beautiful.
Big difference.
And yeah, like we have more work in there to do, but one day at a time.
Yeah.
One little bite at a time.
Okay, so we will plant you now.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
I want to say,
okay,
please, when you're looking at our videos, please like them and
comment.
Yeah, we like to hear from you.
See, YouTube pays us, but they pay attention to if you like, if you make comments. The more comments, the more they chalk up saying, well, people like this, so we'll spread it to more people. And the watch hours pay us.
Well, and between the two of us, I just like to hear from you. All that stuff, that's all her.
Yeah.
That's her department.
Technical.
I just like to hear from you. You're our friends. We care about you. And we want you to know that we're here for you, just like you're here for us.
Yep.
So look at our store if there's anything that interests you. And please send us pictures of your fur babies.
Yeah.
I just love seeing them.
I haven't gotten any in a little while.
So please get on it, people.
Yeah.
So now you can say your line.
Well, then I'll plant you now.
And I'll dig you later.
Bye, friends.